Komal is driving alone on a stretch of highway where the moon offers no light. There are no streetlights and no other travelers, just a narrow corridor of pavement swallowed by the pitch-black woods on either side. Suddenly, a figure steps directly into her headlights. A woman wrapped in a black sari appears out of the darkness, standing perfectly still. Komal slams on the brakes, stopping the car inches from a collision. The woman shows no sign of fear. She tells Komal she didn't appear to cause her harm, but rather to intercept a force that is already moving to strike her. Before Komal can react, the stranger pulls open the passenger door and climbs inside. As her hand brushes Komal's arm, the cold is immediate, an unnatural, freezing sensation that makes her entire body shudder. The woman commands Komal to kill the engine and douse the headlights. Komal obeys, and the car is instantly buried in a thick, absolute silence. In the dark, the silence is broken by a heavy, grinding sound coming from the road ahead. It is the rhythmic, grating noise of a massive weight being dragged slowly across the asphalt. The stranger tells her to turn the power back on. When the high beams cut through the dark, the lights reveal a massive, jagged boulder sitting dead center in the road, positioned exactly where Komal would have been driving. The stranger's warning was precise. Komal is being targeted by an intelligent, supernatural force, and her survival now depends entirely on the mysterious woman sitting in her passenger seat. By the following night, Komal is back at her home. Her husband dismisses the incident as the result of exhaustion and stress, but the sense of dread only tightens around her. The stranger arrives at the front door as promised. She immediately begins a protective puja, chanting and lighting a small ritual fire to try and seal the house from the entity following Komal. The air in the room suddenly changes. An aggressive, howling wind tears through the closed house, bending the flames of the ritual fire completely sideways as the environment reacts to the exorcism. The entity has already bypassed the exterior walls. It is reacting to the stranger's presence from within the home, turning the domestic space into a site of active conflict. Komal's mother walks into the room, but her appearance is wrong. Her eyes are blood red, and her facial features have become twisted into a mask of redirected rage. Speaking through the mother's mouth, the entity claims its rest has been disturbed. It declares that because they have tried to resist, it will now ensure that no one in the house survives the night. The protector stops Komal from reaching out, warning her that the woman in front of them is gone. A separate, malicious consciousness has fully claimed her mother's physical form. The strain of the possession begins to manifest physically. Blood begins to seep from the mother's skin, and deep blue bruises, shaped like human hands, bloom aggressively across her forearms, as if she is being gripped by an invisible force. The entity has effectively neutralized the family's defenses. By inhabiting the mother, it has turned the one person Komal trusts into a vessel for their destruction. The entity finally identifies itself. It is the spirit of a woman who was murdered exactly 20 years ago, a woman who has spent 2 decades waiting for the right moment to return. The truth of the crime emerges. To protect the family's reputation, Komal's mother murdered the woman and carefully staged the scene to look like a suicide. For 20 years, the secret remained buried. In a brief moment of lucidity, the mother's own voice returns. She looks at Komal and confesses to the murder, confirming the spirit's accusation before her eyes roll back into her head. The protector makes one last attempt to break the hold, throwing holy water toward the mother and shouting a final incantation. The spirit is too powerful for the ritual. It exerts a massive telekinetic force, lifting the mother's limp body high into the air, as the room fills with the sickening sound of snapping bone. With a final, violent jerk, the unseen force snaps the mother's neck. Her body goes limp and drops to the floor, instantly ending the possession and her life. The protector looks at the survivors and offers a chilling warning. Though the murderer is dead, the spirit itself has not been banished. It has only satisfied its first debt. The cycle of vengeance has claimed its target, but it leaves the rest of the family to live in the wreckage. Komal and her father are left in a house defined by a secret they never knew, forced to live in the shadow of a horror that now knows exactly where they sleep.